Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel again, Infinity Dreams Canada. In my last video, I had discussed with you how a self employed or a business owner can apply under Express Entry. Now, in this particular video, I want to cover details. So, just to give you an idea about what we discussed in the first video, basically, a business owner or a self employed person has to prove three things to be eligible for the application of Express Entry. So, what are those three things? One is evidence of business ownership. Second is evidence of income from that business, and third is third party documentation. That could be reference letters or invoices. So basically, third party has to give some documentation that you own this business and you are working it in that business as a full-time person. So today in this video, we will discuss point number one, or evidence number one, that is evidence of business ownership. Now, to discuss about evidence of business ownership, let me first give you an overview of how a person is defined as a business owner or self-employed. Now, self-employed could be a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer who are practicing by themselves, an architect, or an IT professional who is working by himself, getting jobs from freelancer.com, a photographer. So all these people who do not have a business setup, they do it by themselves. So those would be called self-employeds. And a business owner would be, a person who has a business entity registered in his name. That could be sole proprietorship or a partnership firm or a limited, public limited, private limited firm. So let's start with self-employed people. Now, self-employed, like I said, an IT professional working by himself, getting projects through any source, dentists, photographer, consultants. Now, for them to show or bring in evidence of business ownership is slightly difficult, but I would not say that it's impossible. Now, the first thing they could bring in as an evidence would be their bank accounts. The bank account could be a current bank account or a savings bank account where they are getting the revenue or the payments of the services provided. Second could be income tax returns. I'm sure a self-employed person is also supposed to file income tax returns, and everybody does that. So suppose a doctor who has X amount of OPD or earnings, or patients, or tax consultant, or a dentist or lawyer. So these people file their income tax returns as well. Now, in that income tax return, there is a mention of source of income, and it will work as evidence of your business ownership. Third could be, now all these documents have to be complementary to each other. Like the third would be business card. Now, an IT professional, if he's having a business card, so which states his name, his role, his office or home address from where he's operating, so that attached with bank account, attached with income tax returns, they could be used as evidence of business ownership. Then letterheads, which you use to provide any invoices or quotations, where you have again the business addresses, business name or your name on it. Then rent agreement of office. Now, if you have a rented premises, that rent agreement mentioning that so and so person is renting this space and is allowed to perform such activities. So that is again helpful document. Invoice copies. Supposedly you raise invoices or you get invoices from your suppliers. A dentist gets invoices for the implants or for other equipments they are purchasing for their patients. Again, that is a helpful document. Similarly, license to practice. Now, in every country, there are certain professions where you need to have license from the government, like a chartered accountant, like a doctor, like a lawyer. So these people need to have licenses, and that license states very clearly that so and so person has passed these examinations and is allowed by the government to practice. There could be other documentations along with that license, maybe state or federal tax documents. So apart from all these, like for an IT professional who is working or getting projects through freelancer, and the payments are coming in through PayPal, could use that registration with PayPal as a proof of business evidence. So for self-employed, it is slightly difficult, but not impossible. You need to put in all the documents which you could arrange. I know people who have, who took photographs of their offices or their shops or retail outlets, and they have attached that as well as an evidence of business ownership. So every piece of document is important and would help you. So because you are a business owner or self-employed, you need to prove that. In case of an employed person, it is easier because the company where they work can just give a reference letter, salary slips, and they are good to go. But in case of self-employed people, it is, I wouldn't say it is difficult, but it is more important to attach each and every document. Now let's talk about business owners. So as we discussed about self-employeds, business owners are, on the other hand, people who own some kind of entity, like a sole proprietorship firm, partnership firm, or a company. Now again, they have their registrations, maybe GST, value added tax, or sales tax. So these all registration documents are very helpful, where they can also prove that the company or entity is operational, doing certain businesses. Now partnership deed, in case of a partnership firm, would help in also understanding the NOC at a certain level, because partnership deed generally has a mention about this partnership firm would be doing so and so activities, and these people are partner in the firm. MOUs, that is memorandum of undertaking, which is proof of entity for private limited companies. Now this document is important document in terms of companies, where you know how to define the company's ownership. If the primary applicant is a partner in certain company, what is the ownership stake, what the company performs, what are the roles of this particular director or the partner. Third would be, if a person is sole proprietor, then again it is not necessary to have a deed for sole proprietor, but there could be other documents, current accounts, because a business current account of a sole proprietor is a different entity in itself. So current account could be one. Then, as I said, the tax documents. As if I talk about, in my case, I was a sole proprietor and I attached GST certificates, which is registration, value added tax registration, returns, because I used to file my GST returns every month, so that was another document. Then audit report from my chartered accountant. They were auditing my accounts annually, income tax returns, and each and every piece of document had a mention that owner of this business is so and so person. So I would suggest for business owner or sole proprietor having as many documents to prove the ownership is important. So I think, guys, this is it about the first point, that is evidence of ownership. So let me know if you have any questions, comments, feedbacks. Each and every feedback is appreciated, positive or negative. If you like the video, put the like button. If you didn't like it, put the dislike button. Also subscribe to my channel. I will be bringing in more videos about the other 2 points and other aspects of express entry application. Thank you. Have a nice day.